Yo, YouTube, what's going on? Now, shout out to Houston, man, because every time I do a video on Houston, y'all be vibing, man, for real. So shout out to Houston, because if you know, you know. Y'all don't play about y'all rides, man, y'all cars, y'all trucks, or y'all candy paint down in H-Town. A car ain't just something to get from point A to point B. It's a lifestyle. It's a piece of identity. It's something that speaks before you do. Whether it's a candy painted caddy, or a wide-body Benz, or a Suburban on swangers. It's always done with purpose. Houston took the meaning of customization and made it a culture. Tonight, we're talking about the man who embodied that world, the one they call the Slab King, Corey Blount. Now, first thing first, let's give respect where it's due. Jonathan Coleman was the original Slab King, the one who built the foundation, but Corey Blount, he took it to another level. He didn't just ride slab, he elevated the entire image of it. Cory became the face of real street money turned art. His cars reflected what the hustle looked like when it was done right. Bold, confident, and untouchable. But before the cars, before the legend, you gotta understand the city that built them. Now, in the late 1980s, America's cocaine trade was shifting. Miami pipeline was too hot. The East Coast was saturated, and the feds were everywhere. So the product started moving west and south into places like Dallas, San Antonio, and Houston. See, Houston became a major hub almost overnight. It was perfect. Right next to Mexico, full of ports, connected by major highways like I-10. Drugs could move in from Mexico, get cooked, cut, and sent out to Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. Even as far as Atlanta and Los Angeles, you had everything in one city: money, access, and a new generation of hustlers ready to take it there. This wasn't Miami's flashy drug scene or LA's gang wars. Houston had its own rhythm. It was built, oriented, quieter, but just as deadly. By the late 80s, powder cocaine was everywhere, and by the early 90s, crack had flooded every block. See, in neighborhoods like 3rd Ward, 5th Ward, South Park, Sunnyside, and Acres homes, the landscape changed fast. Abandoned houses turned into 24-hour dope spots. You see lines of customers wrapping around corners, waiting for their next hit. Young hustlers were learning to cook, taking powder, baking it into hard rock. It was cheaper, faster to move, and it was way more addictive. See, the profits were instant, and the cycle fed itself. By 1992 to 94, Houston police estimated thousands of active crack houses throughout the city. Every hood had its corners. Every crew had its turf. The streets were alive, but dangerous. Gunshots, raids, and fast money created a rhythm the whole city could feel. It was chaos, but for those who knew how to move smart, it was opportunity. And in the middle of all of it, one man began to rise above the rest, and that was Corey Blount. See, Corey Blount came up when Houston streets were turning into gold mines. He wasn't some reckless street kid. He was strategic, calculated, and business-minded. People say Cory was the kind of man who could walk into a room full of hustlers and instantly command respect. Not because he was loud, but because he moved differently. The feds would later call him the supposed leader of a drug ring that moved coke and crack between Texas and Louisiana. Now, whether you believe the government version or the street version, everyone agrees Cory was major. He was one of those rare figures that blurred the line between dope boy and local celebrity. People in the city knew who he was. He wasn't hiding. He represented the evolution of Houston hustle, quiet money, sharp taste, and pride in presentation. Now let's talk slabs. Now, a real slab is built, not bought. Every inch of it is touched, the motor done, inside customized, outside shining. Pop trunk with neon displays, sound systems that could shake the block, and paint so clean you could see your soul in it. Corey Blount lived by that code. He wasn't riding factory, he was creating art. And we're talking about 50,000 to 100,000 into a single ride easy. Around that time, a set of swangers, those iconic poking wire wheels, will run you about 10 grand a set. But when you're making real dope money, man, you spend that without flinching. That's play money. See, Corey changed the game because he was the first to put swangers on foreigns. You will see him with the Lexus, a Benz, a Bourbon. Man, that was Corey. The city went crazy for it. He was setting trends in real time. Shit, even when they took his vehicle, the next day he'll be seen in a better one. The fresher paint, the newer system, even louder system. That's how he was coming, and that's why they called him the Slab King. Corey Blount's influence went far beyond hustling. He helped shape the image of Houston. In a city where cars meant status, he was the bar everyone measured against. His shop stayed active, new builds rolling out weekly, candy paint jobs, TV screens, PlayStation sound systems. He made cars look like moving movie theaters before the rest of the world was caught up. People say he's the reason you started seeing TVs and game systems in cars. When Cory would take his Bourbon to the dealership, workers would gather just to stare. They called their managers over, shocked at what they was looking at. And soon, even the dealerships called on. They started asking themselves, how can we offer this? They'd go around, take pictures. Cory made the streets influence the mainstream. The early 2000s, when cars finally started coming out with built DVD players, GPS systems, and screens. Man, that was old news in Houston. They already had that shit a decade early. The streets were talking, but so was the music. Houston rap scene in the 90s, UGK, DJ Screw, Fat Pat, Lil Kiki. They all painted the sound of that time. The slow, heavy chop and screw movement matched the rhythm of the slab life perfectly. Corey Blount from South Park, his lifestyle fed directly into that culture. The slabs, the style, the attitude. It all became part of Houston's DNA. Now, Corey Blount, he wasn't just a street figure, he was a symbol. But in the streets, nothing lasts forever. In '97, Corey Blount's run came to a halt. The feds built a case claiming he led a coke ring that stretched from Texas to Louisiana. He was arrested along with his brother Ronald Blount Jr. and 4 uncles. Despite being a first-time offender, Cory was sentenced to life without parole. Now that sentence stunned people. It wasn't just about the drugs. It felt like they were making an example out of him. The streets said he was too influential, too visible, too respected. And what made it heavier is that he got locked up a week after Fat Pat's funeral. It felt like the end of an era in Houston. The music, the movement, the money, all of it was shifting. But through it all, Cory stayed solid. He didn't fold. He didn't bring nobody else down. He didn't tell. He took his time like a man. And that's why the city still respects him to this day. See, after his arrest, a lot of people started closing shop. The feds were hitting harder than ever. Mandatory minimums and kingpin laws had changed everything. If you got caught with an ounce of crack, it was over. But after years behind the walls, Corey Blount's story took a turn. His life sentence was commuted to 30 years, making him eligible for release. When the word spread it that the Slab King was coming home, Houston celebrated. To the young cats, he was a myth, a story they heard from their uncles and OGs. But to those who lived it, Cory's name meant loyalty, style, and leadership. When he walked free, it wasn't just one man coming home. It was the closing of a chapter and the start of another. Now, shout out to Houston. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Get the likes up on this video, man. Show love. Don't forget to turn your notifications on so you don't miss out on the new content. Go watch my last 3 videos. It was fire. Man, y'all take it easy out there. I'm out.